Jean-Guel Lemaire is joining me on Skype. His film Necktie Youth has been winning awards and gaining international acclaim all over the world. He's here today to tell us about his movie that's debuting on September 25th in South Africa. Sibs, why don't you introduce us to Necktie Youth?
Necktie Youth is my debut feature film, and it chronicles a day in the life of a bunch of extremely affluent post-apartheid South African youth, a year after the suicide of one of their close friends. And I suppose the film kind of tries to grapple with the malaise that they're going through and the quest for identity that they're wrestling with in this new kind of more Eurocentric South Africa. And growing up in a country as I did, that is, whose democracy is younger than a lot of the kids, and trying to find their own space in their society, their friend group, their families, and I suppose their societal structure.
Now, the film explores a lot of themes, some themes that we don't normally talk about in everyday society: sex, drugs, fitting in, really life as an adolescent. Why did you decide to touch on these themes?
Because I'm from the belief that contemporary cinema, for whatever it's worth, I think a lot because of like the Hollywood system and how people are kind of trained to either make genre pieces or films, with a kind of like a preset structure of like conflict, drive, resolve. I kind of wanted to, I wanted to go back to what I think cinema is more than entertainment, but it's an art form and a social responsibility. So these are just things that I observed in my society, and I thought that as a filmmaker, it was really important to voice this and bring it to a front so a conversation can be started about issues that I think are really affecting and separating our societies. So, I mean, that was, I suppose the main reason was I felt an obligation as a part of this generation and someone who grew up, losing friends and watching, a bunch of kids who, had it all, were supposed to, they were the golden generation and had good schools, good families, end up so lost and disorientated with no real purpose of life or drive that they end up either becoming, drug fiends or, hanging themselves from their parents' chandelier. And I thought that this phenomenon is terrifying, and as a society, we need to address it.
Tell me about seeing this film through from beginning to end and then finally sitting down and watching the final product. What did you feel? Was it what you expected to feel?
No. I think it's one of those things of when you make something, I've been working on this film since I was 14, since I lost my then girlfriend to suicide, and I started observing my friends and questioning this environment. And I suppose when you make something, pretty much your whole adolescence and for like 11 years of your life, that's really personal, you expect a cathartic relief, so, and you expect it to be more than a movie to you, as a director, because you kind of want to say something in memory of a lot of people and say something that's very accurate and relevant, and I was hoping that it would solve a lot of my own personal problems, because I, also grappled with a lot of the things that the film deals with. So I suppose at the end of the movie, it was, watching it, I was extremely proud. But I suppose it's, didn't cure world hunger, which was somewhat of an internal disappointment. So it was tough, seeing it through to the end. But yeah, it actually took me kind of really a long time where I really didn't like the movie at all, and I really thought it was terrible, and I could barely watch it after the editing process. But now with some time and stuff like that, I've watched it recently when it screened in Sydney, and I felt very, very, very proud, and I felt that the message and the intention was exactly what I wanted it to be, actually.